A teenage girl who died during a fight in her high school bathroom apparently had a cardiac condition that contributed to her death. So the question is, how much punishment should the three girls who attacked her, how much punishment should they get? Back with Sarah, Lonnie, and John. Amy Joyner-Francis did not die from direct injuries related to the beating, but a cardiac rhythm problem related to a pre-existing condition. So your heart, you know how it beats normally, can get irregular rhythms that can be unstable, that can lead to no blood pressure and even brain death. In her case, she had something called an atrial septal defect, which is a hole between the two top chambers of the heart. Now, in and of itself, it's fairly benign. It was apparently a large one. You can get something called paradoxical emboli and other cardiac problems. You can get overload of the right side of the heart. They didn't mention that. They just mentioned a strange rhythm problem. In all probability, if attention had been gotten to her early enough, medical attention, she would have survived. Okay, so it's the stress of the assault with the pre-existing cardiac condition that probably resulted in her demise. And one of the girls accused of attacking Amy is charged with criminally negligent homicide. Investigators say she is the only one who physically hit Amy during the fight. Prosecutors want to try her as an adult. She could face 8 years in prison. So, Sarah, there is no direct assault, no direct link to the beating and the death. It's criminally negligent. Help me connect those dots.
I'm sure Lonnie is going to disagree, but I actually think this is going to be a difficult case for the prosecution to prove beyond a reasonable doubt.
Stop. Lonnie, you agree?
No, I think that this is absolutely the correct charge for this case.
Okay, and why?
Well, the reason is because they have to show that there was either some knowledge that a typical high school fist fight is going to kill this girl.
No.
Or some intent. My understanding is that there's text messages, but those text messages are really to set up the confrontation in the bathroom, not to go kill her.
And what about trying this girl as an adult?
And yeah, and trying her as an adult is a process, because in juvenile court, you have to go through a fitness hearing. And at this fitness hearing, the judge is going to decide whether you're fit for the juvenile system. And if you're not fit, you're going to be tried as an adult, and you're going to go to adult prison. So it's far different from going to, youth juvenile hall. But there's factors that determine whether you're fit or unfit for the juvenile system.
John, the court documents call this fight a planned confrontation. They got a lot of text messages and social media. What did they find there?
Well, they found, as you mentioned, this was a well-orchestrated attack. These girls allegedly planned this out up to 20 hours before by exchanging text messages, making the plan. This was not a spur-of-the-moment fight. We should also point out, Drew, that the medical examiner was clear. This young girl does not die if she's not pummeled in the stomach and in the head. This heart condition doesn't kill her unless it's brought on by the stress of the physical beating. That's right from the medical
I think that's right, John, but let me flip it around and say the beating would not have killed her had she not had this occult cardiac condition.
That is probably true as well. And, of course, that's the other side of it. But one thing is this, Drew. This was a vicious attack. I mean, the court documents show that 2 of these teens stood by videotaping and watching and cheering on their friend while she allegedly pummeled this innocent 16-year-old who ended up dead.
And Drew, and this is why I think that it's time for this charge. I understand it will be a difficult legal argument, but look, we have teenagers over and over again committing these very physical, violent assaults against each other. And it's time for them to recognize, look, this is not a video game. This is not a cartoon. When you get somebody down the ground and you're kicking and stomping their head and stomach area, that's a very violent attack. And yes, somebody could die from that.
Easily.
They could.
Yes,
and
even without a cardiac condition.
And that's why it's negligent homicide, not murder. Murder would be, hey, I went in there, I was intended to kill her. Negligent homicide is, I'm doing something that's so dangerous, she could die. I might not intend for her to die, but if she dies, guess what? Legally, you're going to be held responsible.
And that's the issue, though, is that would she have known with some reasonable certainty that punching and kicking would cause this girl to die? And
no.
I tend to disagree.
No, I'm sure she didn't know she was going to kill someone that day.
Right.
Though I don't think she actually even thought about it.
But also,
Sarah, to make a case, maybe that's Lonnie's point. kids need to be thinking about
Yes,
that
sure.
when they
Yes.
start punching.
Right, because
could I kill this person?
Because the way you put that question is, you said she didn't intend that day to think I'm going to go kill somebody. No, but what I'm doing is extremely dangerous. It's extremely violent. Should I be doing this? Could somebody end up dying? Yeah, maybe I shouldn't do it.
When I first saw this, I thought it was going to be an intracranial bleed, a head injury,
Right.
and that's what always worries me with all of these fights, because it's not like the Three Stooges. You can whack somebody with a 2x4 and they shake
Right.
their head and they're fine. That even without death can change your life forever. A head injury, closed head injuries, open head injuries, concussions, the protean manifestations that can last a lifetime.